all heard an expression to be in tune with somebody. Simply, that's what Stimmung is about. 6 singers on a stage coming into perfect tuning with each other. Not just in terms of musical pitch, but also harmony, philosophy, and also mentally. Sometimes they move away from that perfect harmony and come back to it. The composer splits the section into the whole piece into 51 sections, which he calls models. In each one of these models, one singer is the lead singer. Stockhausen calls that person a model singer. That person leads and others follow. They sing a melody of vowels that help create overtones. They accomplish initial harmony, move away from it, disturb that perfect tuning, and come back. And after that, they move on to the next section where another singer will be a model singer, and the whole exercise is repeated again. So you constantly hear these overtones, these very high pitches that come from a low fundamental tone that are almost constantly present. When you hear random words that actually mean something, they're very important. The composer calls them magic words. They represent different religions and philosophies of the world. You hear words like Isis, Egyptian goddess, or Rhea, Greek goddess, mother of Zeus, or Vishnu, Indian god. So as Stockhausen is searching for that perfect harmony, perfect tuning, he also reaches out to all the very many different religions of the world, bringing them together in harmony as well.
Learning Stimmung was a really fun experience as a singer. The symbols and numbers throughout the score challenged me to go deeper as a vocalist than any other score I'd performed up to that time, to not only sing the correct fundamental, but also the right note in the overtone series as well at the same time. This music had a much deeper relationship with the principles of pure sound than the vast majority of music out there.
On one hand, it was extraordinarily simple in the sense that we were just singing a B flat overtone chord for 70 minutes and just interacting with 5 other singers. And on the other hand, it was just extraordinarily complex in that we were dealing with Stockhausen's completely different scheme of conveying music and this wide range of phonetic expressions and overtones that was a very new experience for me and very intimidating, to be honest. So the first time around, I was very caught up in making sure that I understood the format, the models, the interplay, the vowels, and everything kind of structural like that. The second time, I was able to focus a little bit more on the sounds that I think Stockhausen wanted us to focus on, the simplicity, the tuning, the overtones. It was a phenomenal experience to be able to resurrect a piece that hadn't been performed in the Bay Area in 30 or 40 years, just a real privilege, and I just had a blast doing it.
It sort of locks you back into just the rhythms of life and the rhythms of nature. However, it's not just all free form, right? It's not just making sounds. They are very, very specific sounds that Stockhausen wants you to make with a lot of freedom in there. And I noticed that the times I perform that, each time increasingly, I'm really in this state of flow, much more than just performing a musical composition. Because there's that balance of challenge plus sort of the meditation of really doing something enjoyable, and it just really locks me into just such a wonderful state. The piece, again, I call it a musical ritual because the way that the magic names are put into play there, it's like you just get to invoke such ancient names, and with everyone kind of in that flow state, it really creates something psycho-spiritual in a way. Finding the correct formant in your mouth for the vowel shapes was probably the greatest challenge of that piece as well, keeping it in tune. you know, you can have an E vowel, right? What's E? Is it E? Right? You can delineate the different overtones on each vowel, and that is what Stockhausen was very specific about.
Our Time is this piece that's this fragile interplay between this electronic track with glass breaking and kind of this choral contribution that seems fragile and kind of fraught and a bit frenetic to kind of hold on to. And it's really interesting to have a piece like that that's so fragile put together, but everyone kind of contributes to it, and you make it to the end, and it's just incredibly beautiful to listen to. The other piece was Kontakion, which was Cyril's Easter piece, which starts off just very slow, kind of moody as you think about Jesus in the grave, and then comes into this percussive drum beat that the choir then mimics and models along, and shows really the power of resurrection in a way that isn't usually portrayed in Easter pieces. So both pieces super fun to sing, very interesting and thought-provoking, and I had a blast.
I love performing new music, and it's especially a treat to sing in the same group as the composer. I had the pleasure to sing in the debut performances of both Kontakion and Our Time, getting the chance to learn and develop the pieces under Cyril's conducting. Being able to be part of bringing new and experimental pieces to life is very satisfying for me as a singer.
Some of the, fun challenges with these pieces was being right in line with the recording. I've done a few works that have an electronic recording with them, and it's always a different process, but always the main challenge is keeping the tempo. And it's really this interesting learning curve where you realize how much your own human tempo varies from that of a machine. And it's a collective experience, right? A group of humans versus machine can sort of awaken you to like how to keep that regularity. And yeah, performing the Our Time was I loved the concept of that piece with that sound of like the glass shattering. It was like we're shattering the glass ceiling. And I think that piece has a lot of relevance, especially now, this year, 2020. So thank you for listening.